Hello everyone, I'm FARMERSIM. Welcome back to the Oak Bridge Chronicles down here on Oak Bridge Farm. I hope you're all doing really well and having a great day. So, at the end of the last episode I did say that I was going to spend a little bit of time in between episodes, just sorting a few things out, getting a bit of manure and slurry shifted out of the cow barn over to the biogas plant, and just having a bit of a faff around basically, and that's exactly what I've been doing. And here we are now. We are now in January, first thing in the morning. Thankfully the weather's it's cold, but it's a nice sunny day so far. But yeah, like I say, we've loaded up the biogas plant with the manure and slurry from the cow barn, and I'm now in the process of running back into the BGA with the silage out of the bunker, because we do have we've got one of those belt systems again on lease. We currently have I've shifted a few trailer loads already. We've got about 100 and something thousand litres of the stuff left over there at the minute, so I'm going to crack on for now and get this emptied, because moving forward there's a couple of things that I've got lined up. As you can see from the top right hand corner of the screen, we have a cultivating contract to take on. Now it's quite cold for cultivating. I'd imagine the ground's going to be pretty hard, but nonetheless there is a farmer who needs it's field 9. It's over on the east side of the map, next door to our very big linseed field there. So we're going to we'll be sticking with this big lad for today in the vent here, because we need its power to pull a heavy laden trailer up hills back into the biogas plant, and also to run the cultivator as well. So got a bit to do, but looking forward to it. But moving onwards anyway, what I have done, those of you who are aware, who are on my Discord, back in the early days when I started this series, there was a lot of requests for a copy of the save game. Now, at that time, I wanted to kind of keep things relatively, exclusive to this series, as it were. But what I have done, in the spirit of what we've just been through these last few days, uploading the Iowa cattle save that was, it seemed to be an extremely popular request, that. So my good friend Chimera, hello mate, hope you're well if you're watching. She has spent a good amount of time having a bit of a fiddle around on Iowa, and she's uploaded that save file with all the mods that are needed to make it work, as it were, for everyone to take. So that's over on the Discord. So if you weren't aware of that, the Iowa cattle series save game and all its required mods is over on the Discord for you all to download. But like I say, in the spirit of that, what I thought I would do, because we now have a little designated area on the Discord for community save games, that's what it's called. I have uploaded this save game, this Calmsden Oak Bridge Farm save game. Like I said, a lot of people did request a copy of it, so if any of you are still interested in it, I know it's a few months old now, so I appreciate that, but if you did want access to it, if you did want a copy of it, I did that yesterday. I've put that on there with a list and links of all the required mods that you need to run this save on your system. The only thing that you'll have to do to make this exactly the same, because I can't upload because I have done a very small amount of work in Giants Editor on this map. Obviously the only thing I did was delete the walls around the cow barn, and the walls that were kind of sitting in the middle and around what is field 21, the field on the hill behind the cow barn. What you will have to do to make it exactly the same is jump into Giants Editor and delete those walls. It's a very simple process. It is really easy. If I can do it, anyone can do it. Or the other option, I suppose, if you didn't want to do that, if you didn't want to go into Giants Editor, the other option you can do, just to make it look half decent in that respect, is maybe delete the cow barn if you were to download the save and place your own one down, and then that would remove the pasture fence that I have currently around my cow barn, and then you can make your own and go from there. So there's a couple of options there, but either way, like I say, the save file and the links to all the mods that I use on here is there for you to download. There's not a lot of mods, to be fair, because I did start this relatively early days in FARMERSIM. There's not a huge amount of external mods. There's a lot of stuff on that is on the, well, I think most of it's on the mod hub, if I'm honest. I think all of it is, potentially. But yeah, so it's there. And also, the other one that is there is Riverbend Springs. I've also uploaded that one as well. Now, this isn't something I actually forgot to talk about it in my latest couple of episodes on Iowa cattle. But the Iowa cattle series is replacing Riverbend Springs as my kind of American series. I suppose it's down to a couple of reasons. I mean, One of them is motivation, I suppose, but the other more important one is the kind of popularity of it. Obviously, Riverbend started very, very well as soon as Farming Simulator 25 came out, didn't it? And I kind of, you know, I started that series. It seemed relatively popular at the time. It did quite well. I know I gained a lot of subscribers as a result of that, so that was great. But just over time, and maybe because it is a base game map and all that, you know, its popularity and its views kind of started to just drop down a bit, which is fine. It's the way it is. You know, it doesn't bother me in that respect. But you know, it's down to me as the channel owner, I suppose, just to make sure I make content that you all like to watch and want to watch. So with that in mind, I decided to knock Riverbend in the head and replace it with Iowa cattle. So that's what I've done. So anyway, so the Riverbend Springs save file is also on the Discord for you all to download. That's again, when I did the big farm expansion on Riverbend Springs, spending a decent amount of money, if I remember correctly. There we go, another full trailer load. Again, a lot of people showed interest in it and wanted to ask if I could release the save file for kind of, you know, public download. So that's what I've done. Again, I know it's a bit after the fact, and I can only apologise for that. But it's there for you if you want it. That's all I'm trying to say. It's obviously that I can't imagine those two, this and Riverbend, are going to be anywhere near as popular as the Iowa cattle one, because a lot of people, it's gained such a huge amount of interest, and it's wonderful because it is a gorgeous farm build by my good mate Chimera. It's an absolute beauty. Those of you who are aware, who've been following that kind of thing and who watched the last episode of Iowa, the farm build that has been released is slightly different in layout to the one that I currently have on my series, and that is purely because of mod availability and the fact that there was a couple of privately converted mods that we did on there, just to, you know, because at the time there was no forethought into let's release this to the wider public, and obviously we're not allowed to release privately converted mods from Farming Simulator 22 or anything like that. So we've had to, and I say we, Chimera's been hard at work doing this, just redesigning the place to suit, because when she had to remove one building because it couldn't be released, it kind of made the whole thing kind of not click. So she's very kindly, very generously and skillfully, I will say, redesigned the place, and it is gorgeous. So I recommend go check it out, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to have a lovely custom farm build over on a lovely American map, Monteith, Iowa, by DR Modding. So anyway, right, so we're cracking on with this. I'm gonna crack on with this. What else we've got to do today? Like I say, we've got the cultivating contract that is going to be paying £9,394. Like I said, we're in January. That is now sell time as well for our 40,000 litres of oats. That will currently be worth just over £26,000 as well. We're sat at 215,000, which is great. We left the last episode on just over 206. So these last couple of months, working our way up to where we are now, we've earned just under 9,000 quid from the biogas plant, from everything that's been processing away in here. So that's pretty decent. And when I get all this silage shifted into here, we're likely going to have somewhere in the region of almost 500,000 litres of the stuff in here processing away, burning away. So that's brilliant. So that's going to provide us a tidy little comfortable income just to tick us through the winter months, because I can't imagine there's going to be a huge amount to do. I was quite surprised when I saw the cultivating contract, to be honest, and I kind of thought, wow, you know, because everything else there was a couple of deadwood contracts and a couple of moving logs from point A to point B contracts, and I'm not really too fussed about those, especially as I don't want to publicly embarrass myself by trying to operate a log grab doing a contract. I've done it once before and it was woefully terrible. So yeah. So yeah, like I say, I was quite surprised when I saw the cultivating contract, but I've taken it on, like I say, and that'll get us 10 grand into the bank, give or take. So once all this is done and the oats are sold and we've got the contract done, that stands us to sit at somewhere in the region of about £250,000 quid, which is brilliant. But, and then I started to think to myself, well, what am I going to do with that money? It's all very well having it, but the idea is to spend it and invest it and build the farm. So I did have a bit of a look, and there are a couple of fields, field 2 and field 3, which is right next to our farm, which is very helpful. They're currently completely empty, and collectively, if I was to buy them both, they would cost somewhere in the region of about £260,000. So, I don't want to completely empty that. I don't want to do all this and completely empty the bank and leave ourselves with nothing. So what I think the kind of game plan I've got moving forward over the next episode or so after this one is to just get a few more quid into the bank. Maybe we'll see what contracts can come about. We'll see what we can do, and get a little bit more money into the bank, just so that if I was to invest this 260k, that'll leave me with something in the bank to, to see me forward for a couple of months or so into the spring. Because when we do get into the spring, and if I do have those 2 fields purchased, we can plant some oats, which is great. So we'll be able to do a bit of field prep. Because the idea is, in my usual fashion, in fact, when we get down there, I'll just stop and show you what my little game plan is. But it's something that I do all the time, don't I? I always like to kind of customise the place as best as I can, just to make it a little bit different to everyone else. So what the idea is outside my farm, the main entrance, we've got that long stone wall, and that looks over onto field, I think it's field 2, and the idea is that we'll buy field 2 and 3. We'll knock down that stone wall to make the access to that field a little bit easier, essentially straight out of our front gate into that field. And there is also a dividing fence between fields 2 and 3. So, well, we're here now, so I'll show you before I crack on and throw the rest of this work into a bit of a time lapse. So this is us on the left. This is field 2, I believe. Let's just have a quick look, make sure I'm right with that. Yeah, this is field 2. We've got this stone wall here, which this is the one I'm thinking we could knock it down and replace it with a few hedges and maybe stick a gate in that maybe sits pretty much in line with that, something like that perhaps. There is a bit of an access point here. I get that there's a gap in the hedge and all that, but I think I just like a bit of customization. I like to create things and do things a little differently to what most people might have. So I'm thinking of doing something like that. That's field 3. Over the fence there, so the consideration is to dismantle, destroy, remove this wooden fence that sits between the 2, remove the gate out the bottom there, and do in my usual fashion, while there is nothing in the fields, stitch them both together and go from there. So that's the idea. Possibly, I think it'll be a nice investment, to be fair. A bit more land onto the farm. That's what it's all about, isn't it? At the end of the day. So that's the plan moving forward. It's a little bit of a plan anyway. We'll see how far we get and how close we get and how successful we are in achieving that goal. But for now, we need to move some stuff about. Like I say, we've got about somewhere in the region of about 100,000 litres left of silage in the bunker there. We need to get that shifted. And then that can kind of give me a little bit of a relaxation period in regards of the grass work. The 2 grass fields we've got haven't fully grown yet again, but we're in the winter, so they're not going to be growing, are they? So it'll give us a bit of respite from grass work, and then we can kind of mosey on through the winter, just earning a little bit of residual income from the biogas plant. I'll keep my eye on the contracts. We'll get this cultivating one done, obviously, and I'll keep my eye on the contracts. If there's anything worth doing, we'll do it. Increase the bank balance a bit, and then hopefully by the time that happens, we'll have a little bit more money. We can afford to invest in these 2 plots of land and do a bit of work in here. Because that'll give us something to do late winter time into spring, wouldn't it? To get these fields worked, prepped, ready to drill some seed in, get some oats in there, and go from there. So that's the plan. Whether it's a good one or not, time will tell. But there we go. So I'm going to throw this lot into a time lapse. I'm going to crack on with this, throw a bit of music behind it, and I'll pick you up. What I think I might do is I will carry on removing this silage out the bunker, and then also shift the oats out of the silo there and get those over to. We need to take those to All Spheres stores, which it's towards the very south of the map. And get, what did I say, it was about 26,000 quid for that lot. So we'll get all that done, throw a bit of music behind this whole shebang, and I shall pick you up in a wee while's time when all that's done.
City lights in shades of pink, glowing signs will make you think. Retro vibes, they pull you in. so blue. Electric beats we dance right through. Pixel hearts, they flash and wink. Neon dreams begin to link. Take me to that place where the colors never fade, where our fears we can't erase. In the shadows we will play. Holograms and faded tapes, memories that time reshapes. Digital sunsets paint the sky. We'll keep running till we fly. Starry nights that never end. Electric pulses round the bend. Lost in rhythms of the night. Together we'll ascend. Take me to that place where the colors never fade, where our fears we can't erase. In the shadows we will play. Take me to that place where the colors never fade, where our fears we can't erase. In the shadows we will play.
There we go, job done. Silage shifted, oats taken over to Allsphere stores, and the bank account is now sat at a reasonably healthy £241,000, so that was excellent. And I think I did manage to, just out of pure luck when it came to timing, I think I managed to save myself about £1,000 on the leasing of the belt when I was making that last delivery over to the biogas plant with the last trailer load of silage. It was £9.59, and I'm pretty sure that the bill, the payment for the leasing of the vehicles goes out on the hour every hour, doesn't it, while you've got them? So it was £9.59, so I very hurriedly jumped into the menu and returned it. So I think I've just saved about £1,000, which is brilliant. Now there is just over 2,000 litres of silage left in the bunker right at the very end there, and I wasn't going to come back and do that in another trip. So what I'm going to do is just very quickly jump into the telehandler, hitch up the bucket, and trundle that over to the cow barn. You know what, I'm just going to just turn that off there for now. Yeah, I'm going to go and jump in the telehandler, hitch up the bucket, and shift all that over there, and then that's the bunker completely emptied. And then I think it will be time to crack on with this cultivating contract. So let's just manoeuvre myself out of here. That's one of the great things about having the JCBs with the four-wheel steer and the telehandler, of course, is just the ability to manoeuvre in the tightest of spaces. So right, let's just swap this implement over, take off the bale spike, because I had in between episodes when I was shifting everything about, the manure and the slurry, I did also take a handful of our straw bales out of the shed there and fill up the cow barn with straw, so they're completely topped up for the next couple of months at least, which is great. So here we are. Let's get this silage loaded in here, the last of it. That should be us, I think. 2079. Make sure I've got everything out of here. Yep, all done. Lovely stuff. That'll do for me. Do you know what as well? I know I feel I kind of repeatedly say this, don't I? But I will never tire of the lighting on this map. It is absolutely gorgeous. Like when I was making the trips back and to the biogas plant then in the Fent, and when you're facing the certain direction and you've got the sun in front of you reflecting off the bonnet of the tractor, it was just, it's really special, this one. It really is. Absolutely love it. I know I've got reshade running on here, and it does add to the immersion, I suppose, but I will never tire of this one. I really won't. Right, that'll do for that. Let's get that in there. Nice. Sorted. Right, okay, so I'm going to get myself back to the farm. I think I've got to play a little bit of musical tractors. We're going to be sticking with the Fent, obviously, with the big lad with the power to run the cultivator in a very cold, hard field. Yeah, so I'll sort this stuff out now, and I'll catch you in a moment or two's time when we're on the way to field 9. Right, all sorted. Back in the Fent now. Got the cultivator on the back, and we're on the way to field 9. Go get this contract done and get another 10 grand into the bank almost. That'll be pretty good. So, but like I said before, if any of you are interested in getting a copy of this save and the mods that come along with it, jump on the Discord. The link will be in the video description below, as it is in all my videos. Yeah, go and jump on the Discord, come and join the little community we've got going on there. It's a great place. So many wonderful, helpful, friendly people on there. It just makes it a lovely little vibrant community. So it'd be great to have you all on board if you fancy joining, and if you fancy a copy of this save as well. So there we go. Right, let's crack on with this one. Get the job done. Right, there we go. That's pretty much easy money, isn't it? A nice simple cultivating contract. So, in fact, before we crack on, let's just jump into the menu there. Collect that. Thank you very much. Lovely stuff. So, literally, just over £250,000 in the bank account. So that's brilliant. But we do need to build that up a little bit more, which I'm going to keep an eye on the, like I said, I'm going to keep an eye on the contract list over the next coming couple of months. I'm not too sure there's going to be anything of great interest in there. Like I say, it's just at the minute it's just dead wood and moving logs around, and I'm really not that interested in those particular contracts. But we'll see, because if it means I might do one or two possibly, if it means I can get just a bit more money in the bank and give ourselves a little bit extra so we can afford to make that investment in those 2 new fields. But until then, we've timed it quite well. It's like, as you can see, it's the 1st of January. The weather forecast has given pretty much snow from mid-afternoon, late evening, early evening, today onwards until the end of the 2nd of February. So it looks like the snowfall is going to be pretty heavy and pretty constant between now and the end of winter. So I think fieldwork wise we might need to just call it there, I suppose, for the next couple of months. So the next episode may well pick up at the end of February, perhaps, before we hit spring, before there's any kind of work gone on in the background in these two fields there that we're looking to purchase. It might be an idea to try and see what we can get sorted into the bank between now and the end of February in the snow. Like I say, I can't imagine there's going to be much, but I'll figure it out. We'll see what we can do. But either way, for now, for today's episode, ladies and gentlemen, I am going to call it here. Thank you very much for watching. I really do hope you have enjoyed the video and found it a little bit of fun. As always, if you're new to the channel and you like my content, you like the way I'm doing things, please consider hitting that like button, joining the channel, jumping on, clicking subscribe, and also please consider using my Giants Partner promo code if any of you are in the market for purchasing Farming Simulator 25 or any of its add-ons, and you like the idea of supporting the channel and helping out a creator. As always, I would be massively appreciative. And of course, if any of you are in the market for an online server, and again you like the idea of supporting the channel and helping out a creator, please consider using my G-Portal affiliate link, which again will be in the video description below. Any help and support there also would be massively appreciated. So, thank you very much for your time, everybody. Take care, and I'll see you in the next one.